Imagine a small town where everybody knows your name. A place where trust is the currency and one woman holds the key to the city's wallet. Now picture that same woman, quiet, dependable, and a local hero, secretly stealing $53 million to live like a queen. Welcome to Dixon, Illinois, where Rita Crundwell, the town's trusted controller, pulled off the biggest heist in American history. She traded city funds for private jets, luxury RVs, and a horse breeding empire that made her a national star. But how did she fool an entire town for over 20 years? And what drove her to risk it all? This is Mind Your Profit, and I'm Sebins, your host, and today we're cracking open the case of Rita Crundwell, the horse queen who lost everything. So let's get right into it. Rita Crundwell was Dixon's golden child. Born in 1953, she grew up in a sleepy town of only 15,000 people, famous for being Ronald Reagan's hometown. Dixon was the kind of place where people left their doors unlocked and trusted their neighbors. Rita fit right in. After high school, she started working at City Hall as a teenager, and by 1983, at just 30, she was named controller, the person in charge of Dixon's funds. Her job? Manage the town's budget, pay the bills, and keep the financial wheels turning. To everyone, she was a rock, dependable, detail-oriented, and always willing to help out. But Rita had another side. She loved quarter horses, those sleek, muscular animals bred for speed and show. By her 20s, she was competing in local horse shows, and her passion grew into an obsession. She wasn't just a hobbyist, she wanted to be the best. And in the world of horses, being the best costs money, and a lot of it. I'm talking stables, trainers, and traveling to competitions is a rich person's game. But Rita, with her $80,000 a year city salary, shouldn't have been able to afford it. But somehow she did. By the 1990s, Rita was a rising star in the quarter horse world. She owned dozens of horses, each worth thousands of dollars, and her ranch outside Dixon was a showpiece. She won award after award, 52 world championships by the end of her run. People in the horse world called her a genius breeder. She traveled in style, rubbing elbows with equestrian elites, and even had a second ranch in Wisconsin. To Dixon, she was still just Rita, the quiet woman who drove a beat-up pickup truck and worked long hours at City Hall. Nobody asked how she funded her horse empire, but nobody suspected a thing. Here's the thing, Rita wasn't born rich. She didn't marry into money. Her salary couldn't even cover a fraction of her lifestyle. So how was she able to bankroll private jets and a 400-horse operation? The answer was hiding in plain sight in a banking account she opened in 1990. That account would turn Dixon upside down and make Rita Crundwell a legend for all the wrong reasons. So let's break down how Rita Crundwell stole $53.7 million over 22 years without anyone noticing. It's a scheme so simple, yet so bold, it's almost unbelievable. In 1990, Rita opened a banking account at Fifth Third Bank called the RSCDA, Reserve Sewer Capital Development Account. That sounds official, right? To the bank, it looked like a legitimate city account for sewer projects. But there was one catch. Rita was the only person who could access it. The account wasn't for Dixon, it was for her. Here's how it worked. Rita, as a controller, controlled Dixon's finances. She could write checks, move money, and approve payments. The city's accounting system was old school. Manual ledgers, no digital audits, and zero oversight. Rita would write checks from Dixon's real accounts, like the general fund, and deposit them into the RSCDA account. To cover her tracks, she created fake invoices for things like sewer repairs or capital projects. If anyone asked, she showed them invoices and say the money was for city expenses. Nobody double-checked her work. Why would they? Rita was family. From 1990 to 2012, she wrote 179 fraudulent checks, siphoning off $53.7 million. In the early years, she stole a few $100,000 annually, but by the 2000s, she was bold, taking $5 million in a single year. The money poured into her accounts, and she spent it like there was no tomorrow. Now, the main question is, what did she buy? And the answer is everything. Her biggest expense was the horse operation. She owned over 400 quarter horses, each costing thousands to buy, train, and show. Her Dixon Ranch was a state-of-the-art facility, and she even bought a second property in Beloit, Wisconsin, just for breeding. She traveled to horse shows in $2.1 million RVs, think rockstar tour buses with leather seats and a full kitchen. She chartered private jets to competitions, wore custom jewelry, and threw lavish parties for her equestrian friends. Credit card bills paid with city money. Vacation homes bought with city money. Even her Lexus was courtesy of Dixon taxpayers. The crazy part? Dixon was struggling. The town's budget was only $8 to $9 million a year. Schools couldn't afford textbooks. Roads went unrepaired. City workers faced layoffs. When the mayor or council asked why we're so tight on funds, Rita would always have an answer. She would say, "We're broke. Times are tough." And the crazy thing about it is they believed her. She was the expert after all. Meanwhile, she was living a double life. Small town Rita in Dixon, horse queen Rita everywhere else. How did she get away with it for so long? 3 things. First, Dixon's financial system was a mess. There was no independent audits, and the city council didn't know how to read a balance sheet. Second, Rita was trusted, almost worshipped. She worked at City Hall since she was a teenager. Nobody thought she's still a dime. Third, she was smart. She kept her Dixon life modest. A cheap truck, a simple house, so locals didn't suspect her wealth. Her horse world was separate, and nobody in Dixon knew about it. Even when people in the horse world asked how she was able to afford it, she just shrugged and said, "I'm good with money." That's the understatement of the year. But every scheme has a weak spot. For Rita, it was her confidence. She got sloppy, and one mistake brought her entire empire crashing down. In 2012, Rita Crundwell's luck ran out. She took a rare extended vacation, probably to a horse show, living her high-flying life. While she was gone, a city clerk named Kathy Swanson filled in for her. Kathy was not a financial whiz, but she was diligent. One day, she noticed something odd inside the city's bank statements. Large transfers to an account labeled RSCBA. She's never heard of it. Curious, she dug deeper and found checks, millions of dollars worth, going straight to this mystery account. Now, Kathy didn't confront Rita. Instead, she brought her straight to the mayor, Jim Burke. The mayor was skeptical at the time. Rita? Stealing? Gotta be impossible. But he called the FBI just to be safe. The FBI moved fast. They traced down the RSCDA account and found it was controlled solely by Rita. When she returned from vacation, agents were waiting. On April 17, 2012, Rita Crundwell was arrested. The FBI raided her ranch and home, uncovering a treasure trove. 400 horses, a $2.1 million RV, luxury cars, and $12,000 in a checking account from a single horse sale. Dixon was gutted. The town learned Rita stole $53.7 million, leaving a $30 million hole in their finances. Schools, roads, and jobs had suffered for years because of her greed. Residents felt betrayed. This was their Rita, the woman they known forever. In 2013, Rita pleaded guilty to wire fraud. The judge didn't hold back, sending her straight to prison for 19 years and 7 months, one of the longest for municipal fraud. She was ordered to pay $53.7 million in restitution. The U.S. Marshals auctioned off her horses, ranches, and bling, recovering about $10 million for Dixon. Today, Rita's in a Texas prison, eligible for release in 2029. Dixon's still rebuilding, with tighter financial controls, but their trust is gone. Rita's horse trophies? Probably collecting dust inside a storage unit somewhere. Rita Crundwell's story isn't just about stealing $53.7 million. It's about a heart led astray by its own desires. To understand her downfall, we need to dig deeper than the headlines and look at the flaws that turn a trusted town controller into a thief who betrayed everyone around her. Let's unpack the 5 cracks in her character that brought her crashing down and why they're a mirror for all of us. Flaw number 1, a heart consumed by greed. See, Rita had a good life, a steady $80,000 a year salary, a respected role, and a community that loved her, but it wasn't enough. Her passion for quarter horses morphed into obsession with status, trophies, and being the best. Greed isn't just about wanting more. It's letting that want drown out gratitude for what you have. The Bible warns in 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from faith and pierced themselves with many griefs." Rita's greed pierced her life, decades in prison, a ruined reputation, and a town left hurting. She chased a fantasy of glory, blind to the blessings that she already had. Flaw number 2, entitlement that justified sin. As Dixon's controller, Rita wielded unchecked power over the town's money. Over time, she started to see it as her money to take. This entitlement, believing you deserve what's not yours, is a quiet position. It let her rationalize stealing from neighbors, schools, and workers. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18 says, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." Rita's pride convinced her she was above the rules, untouchable. That mindset didn't just destroy her, it shattered the trust of an entire community. We all face moments where we feel we deserve a shortcut. Fudging a budget, splurging beyond our means. Rita's story shows where that road leads. Flaw number 3, a life built on deception. Rita's double life, A humble clerk by day and horse queen by night, was a masterclass in lying. She deceived Dixon with fake invoices and a modest facade, all while living like royalty. But deception doesn't just hurt others, it erodes your soul. Psalms chapter 101 verse 7 warns, "No one who practices deceit will dwell in my house. No one who speaks falsely will stand in my presence." Rita's lies kept her scheme alive for 22 years, but they also trapped her in a cage of fear, always one step away from discovery. Living a lie, whether it's hiding debt or faking success, steals your peace long before the truth catches up with you. Flaw number 4. Compulsive spending as an identity. Rita's $2.1 million RV, 400 horses, and private jets weren't just purchases, they were her identity. Like Sue Sachediva, who we covered before, Rita was addicted to the rush of spending, using it to feel powerful and admired. Her horse empire wasn't about joy, it was about proving she was somebody. This compulsion drove her to steal more, even when she had enough. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 10 says, "Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income." Rita's endless spending shows how chasing things to fill an inner void only leaves you emptier, and in her case, in handcuffs. And flaw number 5, ignoring the ticking clock. Rita's scheme lasted so long, she probably thought she'd never get caught, but every choice has a reckoning. Her small mistake, leaving Kathy Swanson to spot the RSCDA account, was a spark that lit the fuse. Galatians chapter 6 verse 7 reminds us, "Do not be deceived, God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows." Rita sowed theft and deceit, and she reaped a 19-year prison sentence. Deep down, she had to know the clock was ticking, but her confidence or denial kept her blind. We all have moments where we ignore consequences thinking, "I'll deal with it later." But Rita's fall is a wake-up call. Later always comes. Rita Crundwell had it all: a good life, a town's trust, a shot at a happy life, but she threw it away for a $53 million lie that left Dixon in ruins. Her story is a wake-up call. Greed unchecked can steal more than money. It can steal your freedom, your reputation, and your future. At Mind Your Profit, we dig deep in a story just like Rita Crundwell's, where we show you where things go wrong and how to get it right. Don't let a bad decision derail your dreams. Subscribe now for more stories that will make you smarter about your money. Hit the bell, share this video, and tell us in the comments, what's one lesson you're taking from Rita's downfall? Until next time, keep your eyes on your money and your mind on your profits, and I'll see you in the next one.